This is the Big E, the Enterprise, the first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, the largest ship in the world. Displacement of over 85,000 tons, 230 miles of pipe, 625 miles of electrical cable, 1 million electronic tubes and transistors. Yes, the Big E is aptly named. It's been called, and rightly so, a floating city. Like most large cities, it has its own airport, its own metal and woodworking shops, offices, electrical repair shops, trucks and vehicles of all kinds, cranes to handle the big chores, elevators to speed the flow of materials, winches to put muscle into the lines, and its own post office, hospital, newspaper plant, and even its own TV studio. It has laundrymen, tailors, cobblers, dentists, storekeepers, barbers, bakers, cooks, and of course a police force all its own. At sea, when men are working round the clock, the mess lines are open 19 hours a day. There are 2 galleys, one fore, one aft, to handle the job of feeding 4,600 enlisted men and officers over 14,000 meals daily. Practically, the entire ship is air-conditioned. Each bunk, in fact, has its own adjustable air conditioning outlet. Yes, whatever the folks back on land have, the Big E has too, including machines. Machines of many different shapes, many different sizes, for many and varied purposes. And here on the Enterprise, many machines float in their own sea, a sea of lubricating oil as important to the machine as the ocean is to the ship. Without lubricants, no machine can run. Lubricating oil means life to the Big E, even as it does to the countless machines Americans depend on ashore. What exactly does lubricating oil do? Basically, lubricating oil prevents gears, wheels, and other mechanical moving parts from coming into contact, yet it allows the transmission of energy from one part to another. Oil smooths the way for massive pistons or delicate springs. When it is made into grease, it protects rods and gears. As a coolant, it prevents these tools from burning up. When blended with other substances, it can literally perform 1,000 different tasks. But basically, its function is to minimize friction. With the arrival of nuclear power, a new dimension was added to the problem of lubrication. For example, aboard the Enterprise, deep in the hull, behind protective barriers, lie the nuclear reactors which can drive this giant carrier around the world many times without refueling. Ships with such prolonged operating potential must be free from the possible by the oils and greases that coat the Enterprise's various propulsion units, especially engineered for ships at sea. The Enterprise, which represents the latest technological advances in propulsion plants, uses these time-tested and proven lubricants. In addition, another nuclear-powered vessel designed for commercial application, the NS Savannah, served as a floating laboratory for the testing of the petroleum industry's lubricating oils. Besides this testing aboard the Savannah under operating conditions, one of the world's largest research laboratories, owned by an oil company, conducted further tests and screening of the many and varied lubricants required for nuclear applications. One such test was the exposing of oils to the gamma waves of cobalt-60 to determine their stability under any unforeseen exposure to radiation. In each test, the aim was to select the best lubricant for the job. Inside the radiation room, various samples are spread around a raised ring to be exposed to doses of radiation. A door 5 feet thick seals off the radiation room. When all is secure, a button is pressed and hollow steel pencils filled with cobalt-60 appear to expose the oil to powerful doses of gamma rays. A door is closed to safeguard the 42 inches of special protective glass. The tests continue for months to screen out unsuitable lubricants. Once the screening tests are passed, the most versatile lubricants with the best records of performance in industry are chosen. Additives in lubricating oil, though a comparatively new technique in lubricating, are finding increasing uses all the time. These chemicals, which prevent rust, bolster viscosity, and do dozens of other internal chores, have materially contributed to the successful conquest of wear and oxidation, which helps not only to make our nuclear-powered ships go, but also to act as a continuing, indispensable factor in the operation of all our ships in the fleet. In most phases of activity in which atomic energy may someday play a part, lubricants will keep the machines moving. This is the oil which now coats the gears of the main propulsion unit. Yes, oil makes the Enterprise go in 1,000 ways. To see just what it means to this ship, let's live with the crew of the Enterprise for a day at sea. It is a few minutes after dawn, somewhere in the Atlantic. Here on the bridge, men are on watch. On the mast above, radar is probing the distant sky.
Reveille, all hands heave out, trace up. Smoking lamp is lighted in all authorized spaces.
Out on the flight deck, the jet planes are poised to catapult into a new day's operations. The bombers can be accelerated into the air from a standing start at the rate of 1 every 15 seconds using the ship's 4 catapults. It is here that lubricating oil faces another real challenge. At speeds approaching sound, the jet engines heat up rapidly. The oil must not fail in this furnace-like temperature. High engine speeds heat and thin the oil. Intensive oil industry research has ensured that this oil will continue to function at peak efficiency even under the most severe operating conditions. Petroleum research has developed lubricants that maintain a tough lubricating film at these high temperatures. Operating throughout the day, these thirsty jets require a lot of fuel. Spaces in the Enterprise, which would normally carry boiler fuel, have been converted for jet fuel, extending her capacity. and thereby increasing the operating capability of the... While some jets continue to fly, others require maintenance. This giant of the sea carries over 100 different kinds of lube oil for her multi-purpose operations, each with its own especially engineered composition. The Enterprise's extra capacity for fuel below decks makes her the largest floating service station in existence. Carrying oil for fueling her escort ships permits extended fleet operations at sea without shore support, and greater mobility and flexibility than ever before known to fleet commanders. This independence pays off in a completely self-sustaining airbase, an optimum weapon system for deterrence of limited war anywhere in the world. Up on the bridge, the captain awaits the return of the last aircraft. And here they come. Touchdown at 150 miles an hour, slamming into the arresting cable, then on to the elevators within seconds, to be whisked below and secured on the hangar deck. Now the day is over. Time to relax and rest. These men of the Navy and these scientists of the oil industry, though they may never meet, are partners. For it is only research, painstaking, never-ending research, that makes mechanical miracles like the Enterprise a reality. This, then, is the Big E, one of the truly great scientific accomplishments of modern times. A powerful instrument for the defense of the United States. A testimony to the wonders of the technology of modern industry applied to our nuclear age. A seagoing metropolis carrying the American flag around the world.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Skip Alsheimer. Welcome to our AV Geeks lunchtime streaming show. I'm at the beach. There's actually sand everywhere. Jumped into the ocean yesterday. Gotten a little sun on my ears and my forehead. So I'm having vacation, but one of the things that gives me true joy is to actually show films to you from my collection. And so that's what we just did. That last film was Inside the Big E, made by the American Petroleum Institute, as a way to say, hey, even though we have this giant atomic-powered sub, petroleum's still important. Hey, don't worry, stockholders, everything's fine. Everything's going to be okay. And it's also an interesting look at the Enterprise aircraft carrier. My father was on an aircraft carrier during Vietnam. He was on the Forrestal, which was not nuclear, was smaller, but there's stories related to that. And at some point I'll show some home movies from that and some films related to the Forrestal, because that's its own interesting story. Anyhow, this next film is something that I love. I call it assembly line porn. It's not pornography, but it shares some of the same values that pornography has, which is it's close-up, gratuitous footage of how something is made, and it's not as obsessed with the product at the end and more just about the process. And there's music, and there's close editing, and slow motion, and so it's very porn-like. So assembly line porn, here it is, 100 watts, 120 volts. Enjoy. So that was the Durotest facility that made those light bulbs. Yeah, glorious. And we got some Bach, some Brandenburg concerto playing. It's glorious. Okay, so next film. Oops. I have about 100 windows open on my computer, so I apologize for that. This next film is for salesmen, teaching them some sales techniques on how to handle customers who aren't totally aware of what they want, or how to be helpful and still make a sale even if you're not making a sale. This is Nothing But Lookers.
You have a shopping list?
Yeah, I had to. I haven't been shopping in weeks, and boy, does it pile up. Look at this.
Yep, my list is just as long. Hope we can get a lot done today. Let's start right over here with gloves.
Good. I know exactly what I want.
Here we go. The charge of the Light Brigade.
Miss, I'd like to see some gloves to match this handbag, please.
No, sorry, we don't have a thing in that color.
Oh, dear. Nothing? Doesn't matter whether it's fabric or leather.
No, nothing in that color.
Well, at least you didn't have to wait.
But I really needed some gloves.
Well, let's try across the aisle. We both need blouses for our new suits. You ask first.
Could you help us, please? I'd like a light blue blouse, size 14, something washable. Nylon, I guess.
No, I'm sorry. I sold the last light blue in nylon just this morning. Why don't you try us again in a week or two?
What about a white in a 16? In a Lady Devonshire?
No, we don't carry Lady Devonshire. Never have.
We're getting nowhere fast. I think to save time, we better separate and meet in the men's department, okay?
Okay, maybe we'll have better luck. See you later.
Oh, this is lovely. Absolutely perfect for my sister-in-law. Do you have it in a 32?
No. The only 32 is on the display.
Oh, fine. I'll take it.
Oh, no. I couldn't possibly take it off the display.
Oh, dear.
I'm looking for a counter on hinges to put in my kitchen between the range and the refrigerator. The size ought to be...
No, I'm sorry. We don't have anything like that. Rarely get a call for that sort of thing.
I know it exists. Could you tell me where else I might look?
No, I haven't the slightest idea. We just sell kitchen tables.
No, nothing in that color.
No, I'm sorry. I sold the last light blue in nylon just No, this we morning. don't carry Lady Devonshire. Never
Oh,
have.
no. I couldn't possibly take it off the display.
No, we don't have anything like that. Rarely get a call for that sort of... No.
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 No. No. No.
exaggeration? You're right, but it does make a point. Every single day, eager shoppers are turned into frustrated lookers. They come to buy, full of anticipation, and leave empty-handed. Disappointed with a big, lazy no. Discouraged with a quick and easy no. True, these particular customers asked for items that weren't in stock, but not the slightest attempt was made to satisfy their needs and interests with a good substitute. Not the slightest attempt was made to meet the first essential of a successful sale, to make every possible thoughtful effort to encourage each individual to buy something out of the mass of merchandise in stock. These customers came in with every intention to spend money. They had definite shopping targets. Yet no one ever tried to help them in the right direction. Indifferent, negative selling made them nothing but lookers.
How'd you make out?
I wound up with one toothbrush. How about you?
No luck either. All I could cross off my list was a lipstick.
Well, see if we can at least find some pajamas.
I see you've already discovered one of the best buys in the store.
They're very nice, but my husband prefers the kind Atlas makes, in a C.
Yes, I know Atlas. It's an excellent brand. We don't carry it, but let me show you something very much like it in quality and style.
What did you say?
He said yes.
I said I'd like to show you something very similar that I think you'll like.
Oh, dear, I wonder if he'll want another kind.
Well, it has a special feature that will really add to his comfort. See how easily it gives at the waist? It won't bind. That's because of the set-in panel.
Atlas doesn't have this?
Oh, no. It's an exclusive. It's very popular. I'm sure your husband will appreciate it. Fine, soft cotton, carefully tailored.
Well, let me think for a minute. Why don't you take care of my friend here?
You take all the time you want. Now, what can I find for you?
Well, I'm looking for something to give my husband, too. He's going on a very important business trip, and I'd kind of like to surprise him.
Fine. If your husband travels, here's a good gift idea. It's very handsome and really useful. A lightweight robe in a handy case.
Yes, it is beautiful, but he already has a robe.
Well, this is a special travel weight. It's very convenient and light, just a few ounces. Is his robe as light as this one?
No, it isn't.
Well, this is great when your husband's on the move. Never wrinkles, packs in just a few seconds in this little case, and takes up hardly any room. It's washable, too.
His robe has to be dry cleaned. It's a nuisance.
Sally, don't you like these pajamas? I do.
Oh, they're elegant. He'll love them. And look at this. Isn't this a perfect gift for Bill?
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah.
the first condition of a successful sale is about to happen. The customer is buying merchandise that meets her needs. But it wasn't without effort on the salesman's part. He responds optimistically and positively to every request. Mr. Edwards is a man who can't say no. And because he can't say no, his customers say yes.
Hi, Miss Hodges. How are you today?
Oh, not so good, Mr. Edwards. I've had nothing but lookers.
Really? Everyone I've talked with was in a buying mood.
I wonder what it takes to make them buy.
Sorry, I was burning some toast. I guess that's the thing is I'm in the big room and the kitchen's like right there. And sorry. Anyways, this next film is really interesting. It's made by Centron Films, who they're based in Lawrenceville, Kansas, and in general, they tend to be the educational film company with heart. Like they did many, many films that addressed the emotional aspects of whatever their subject was. Cornet and Encyclopedia Britannica did as well, but it just seems like Centron had a better grasp on it, and they didn't crank out educational films as much as the other two. And this film is about being popular, and this film is, I think, made in the late 70s, early 80s. I can't remember the exact year. And it's a girl who's fretting about being popular in school and not being popular in school. And her bigger sister gives this amazing advice, which I just think this should be required viewing in school. And that advice is, who cares if you're not popular in high school? Nobody cares. So here it is. It's a Thought.
Hi, Stacy? Uh-huh.
This is Deb.
Yeah. Debbie? Is someone there with you?
Yeah, Ellen's here.
Oh, well, see, I wanted to invite you to my birthday party this Friday night. Oh, and Ellen, too.
Well, are there going to be any guys there?
No, it's a slumber party. And
My dad's going to go out and get some pizza, and, we're going to have some birthday cake and stuff.
just that. Dad, bring birthday cake and pizza.
Stacy?
Stacy.
Well, I don't know. We might come.
Or we might not.
Well, I kind of need to know, 'cause...
My mother told me that I could only have 10 people, and I need to know.
Well, I'll let you know later. Ellen and me may be doing something Friday night.
Okay. Bye.
Debbie, aren't you off that phone yet?
Yeah, Mom. I'm off.
Here, hang up this sweater. It doesn't belong on the doorknob. Honestly, you talk on that telephone every night. It's constantly ringing off the hook. Drives your father crazy. And here, these clothes go in the dirty clothes hamper, okay?
Yeah, but it's always for you and Missy. Nobody calls me.
Well, Doreen calls you every night.
Wow, Doreen. She calls just to find out the homework assignments.
Is there anything wrong, honey?
No, nothing's wrong.
Well, okay. Then you better get on with your homework.
Mom, do I have to have a party this year? Couldn't we just do some family thing or something?
Well, you've always had a birthday party. Why would you want to change this year?
But slumber parties are baby stuff. Nobody has slumber parties anymore.
Well, Doreen had one last month.
Wow, Doreen, her little sister, and me. Nobody else showed up.
I can't understand some parents. You mean they allow their kids to accept invitations to parties and then the kids don't show up?
I don't know. Most parents don't know what their kids do.
Oh, I can't believe that. And yes, I would like for you to have a birthday party. Besides, you do owe a lot of invitations.
To who? Doreen?
Why, to all of your friends.
Mom, I have not been invited to one party all year long.
Now, Deb, you know that can't be true.
It is true. Why do you think I spend every weekend babysitting? I don't have any place else to go. All the kids I hung around with in grade school run around with a different crowd now.
Yeah, but you knew they'd make new friends, and you have too.
I haven't. I can't.
Oh, don't give me that stuff.
Mom, I have been calling kids all night, and not one of them has said for sure that they can come to my party.
Well, what about Stacy and Ellen? Gosh, you've been close to them.
I just called Stacy. Her and Ellen laughed at me when I invited them. They're not coming.
She and Ellen. Why not?
I told you, because they run around with a different crowd now. And all the girls think that girl parties are baby stuff.
You mean they only go to boy-girl parties?
All the popular kids do, every Friday and Saturday night.
Well, you know, I don't approve of that.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Well, what's that supposed to mean? Do you want boys to come to your birthday party?
No, not really. Nobody's going to show up anyway.
Oh, come on. Get off the self-pity kick.
It's not self-pity. I'm just being realistic. Hey, let's drop the whole thing, all right?
Debbie, you wore my new blouse and you wrecked it. You got the cuts filthy. Now you're going to buy me a new one.
Oh, bug off, Missy. You give me a pain. You're always wearing my stuff.
Now, girls.
Yeah, but you're such a goat, you always wreck my clothes. I'm telling you, stay out of my closet.
Get off my case. Will you tell her to shut up and get out of here?
Missy and Debbie, would you two please stop it?
If I ever catch you in my closet again, you're going to get it, you little...
Missy, that's enough of that. I don't want to hear that language around your sister or anybody.
She doesn't know any other kind of language.
Bull, you ought to hear the way her crowd talks. That Ellen and Stacy are a couple two-bit sleazes.
Better than those freaks and heads up at high school. Anyway, I don't run around with Stacy and Ellen anymore.
What's wrong? You too good for them?
No.
If you two girls don't stop it right now, I'm calling your father.
Oh, Mom, please don't think Daddy on us.
No, not the terrible teddy bear. Anything but that.
You two. You think you can wrap him around your little finger.
You do it, too.
What?
Wrap him around your little finger.
Well, he is a little outnumbered, right?
I get it. Hello? Yeah, just a minute. It's for you.
Oh, okay. I'll take it in the kitchen. And, Deb, go ahead with the plans for the party. It'll turn out just great. Okay?
Sure, Mom.
What's she talking about?
Oh, my birthday party. Hey, I'm sorry I got your blouse dirty.
That's okay. You can clean it, goat. So what kind of blouse you gonna throw?
Oh, I don't know. Mom wants me to have another slumber party.
Sweet.
Yeah, just like 3rd grade again. Put on your little party dress, invite all the goody-goodies over, open presents, blow out the candles. Jeez, I wish we could just forget about the whole thing.
Oh, what the heck. Throw the kind of party you want. Wish they'd let me have a party.
Not too likely, since Mom's still finding empty beer cans under the furniture from the last one.
Big deal. There's always some party crashers who bring some beer. Doesn't mean a thing. Boy, wait till you get to high school. You'll go to some parties that'll just blow your mind.
Not me.
Why not?
I don't even get invited to the ones in junior high.
In high school, you don't need an invitation. You just go.
Well, I'd better get back to work. So far, I'm 0 for 8.
What do you mean?
I've called 8 people, and not one of them has said for sure that they can come to my party.
Oh? Is there a game or a big bash that night?
No game. I wouldn't know about the parties. I never hear about them until they're over.
What's the problem?
Me, I guess.
Yeah, you are sort of a mess.
Gee, thanks a bunch.
Missy, get in here right now and unplug this curling iron. You know you're going to burn this house down someday.
Coming, Mother. Really, I want to talk to you about this some more, okay? Just stay cool. And these are mine.
October 14th. This party thing has got me down. It's the pits. The popular kids aren't going to show up, and if they don't come, nobody else will come either. Then everybody will know I threw a party and nobody came. It's humiliating. I could just die. But Mom doesn't understand. She's going to make me have that stupid party no matter what. Sometimes I wish I could start junior high all over again. I'd create a new image for myself. A new image, a new image, a new image, a new image, a new image.
But it's not who you know, and it's not where you go, baby. Happiness is just how you feel. I know that I'm no celebrity, and I'm not the talk of the town. But I've been the one who picks you up when someone knocks you down.
she is.
She did show up.
She's beautiful. Man, I'm gonna ask her to dance.
Forget it, man. She's out of your class.
Man, I trade my bass for her.
Who is that fox? That, my friend, is Debbie.
Oh, please don't let me interrupt. I do so enjoy watching you young people dance. Please, go right ahead. Hi, Deb. Oh, Stacy, I didn't notice you.
Gee, that's okay, Dad. Ellen and me, we were just wondering,
Well, I'm having a party Friday night, and I was wondering if you could, well, if you would.
If you just show up for a little while.
My brother could pick you up in his brand new sports car.
Your brother, the gearhead.
Oh, Deb, please, if you just put in an appearance, it'd really make the night for us. Everybody'd want to come if they knew you'd be there.
How sweet. I might come, but then again, I might not.
Oh, please.
Debbie, would you, like to dance?
No, thank you.
Please, Deb, if you just put in an appearance.
Oh, you kids will have to excuse me. I see someone I have to talk to.
Debbie, oh, wow.
Debbie, you look great.
Roger, you poor thing. I know you've been trying to call me all week, but my schedule has been absolutely hectic.
Wow, she is so popular.
Don't you wish you could be a little bit, just a little bit like her?
Have you seen Debbie? Doreen, you'll never get near in that crowd.
She's got the whole high school football team following her around.
I gotta talk to her. Debbie? Debbie! 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 Hey, Debbie, wait up!
Oh, hi, Doreen.
Hi. What are you doing about that assignment for communications class tomorrow?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm doing mine on ESP and psychic phenomena.
Yeah? Dynamite. Stacy! Hey, Stacy!
I'll go to the library and help you get stuff for your speech if you want.
Hey, Stacy! Stacy, hi, what you doing? Geez, you're loud. Sorry. Hey, you want to go to the Gables after school for a Coke?
No, we got practice after school.
I'll go with you, Deb. Did you hear me?
Then will you save me a place at lunch? I got something to talk to you about.
I'll save you a place at lunch. I don't like to eat alone anyway.
Ellen was supposed to meet me here.
You can have my dessert and we can talk.
Wait till I tell you what happened to Brad in math class today, see?
Ellen, over here, hurry up.
Well, we haven't had a chance to really sit down and talk lately.
All the guys were standing behind the door waiting for Brad when Mr. Zentz walked in first, and he...
What's this? Your cheering section?
Come on, let's go.
Well, save me a place at lunch, and I'll tell you about the whole thing.
Of course, if you're too busy at lunch, you could come over to my house tonight, or I could stop by yours. Do you want me to give you a call?
What are you babbling about?
I'm meeting you for lunch. You're doing something together tonight.
Doreen, you are such an airhead.
Well, Deb, what'd I do?
Well, you gonna answer it or what?
Yeah. Hello? Yeah, Doreen. No. Hey, can I call you back later? Yeah, I promise I'll call. Okay, bye. Doreen.
I gathered that.
She's so out of it.
She is, huh?
She's always calling me up and following me around. She's a pest.
Maybe she's just lonely.
If she is, she brought it on herself.
How do you figure?
Nobody likes to be around her.
Oh, she's really insulting and obnoxious, huh?
No, not insulting. Just out of it.
Oh. How do you get in it?
Missy, what are you driving at? Is this Be Kind to a Misfit week or something?
No. I like her, though. She reminds me of somebody I know. Look, I just feel sorry for her, that's all.
Why?
Well, she's having a bad time of it. I know how she feels. Junior high can be really rotten.
How would you know?
I was a lot like her. And you.
What's that crack supposed to mean? I'm like her?
Oh, no. You're the belle of the ball.
Oh, get off it.
Hey, I'm not putting you down. I've been there, too.
No, you haven't. Not like this.
Oh, really? What would you say if I told you that when I was in 7th grade, I never once got asked to a movie or a party or to spend the night at somebody's house? All the popular boys call me Pizza Face.
Pizza Face?
Yeah, I was a real winner. Zits, glasses, buck teeth, and a horse laugh.
I remember. You were a pretty funny case.
I remember once I got mad at Laura Dorn for not inviting me to her first boy-girl party. I always had her to my parties. Well, anyway, I got so mad I called her mom and told on her.
Oh, you didn't.
Did I ever? The next day, Laura and her crowd caught me in the halls and started pushing me around and yelling at me. One of them poured paint all over my new sweater. It was awful. Nobody talked to me for a month.
I never knew about that.
No, I didn't talk about it around here much, but it was pretty bad. So I'm telling you, I've been there.
But how did you make it in high school then? I mean, you've got lots of friends now.
Simple. I just counted noses.
Is that supposed to make sense?
Sure. The way I have it figured, maybe 10% of the school is the popular clique. That leaves 90% of the kids on the outside trying to get in. I just figured there are more of us than there are of them. Why should a couple dozen of them make hundreds of us feel like turkeys? So I just made friends with a bunch of kids like me who couldn't get into the popular clique.
But you are popular now.
Not really. Not the way you mean, at least.
Oh, don't give me that. You're always going to parties and dances.
Yeah, but I go with my crowd. The kids I hang around with aren't exactly the jet set, but we have a lot of fun times together.
You mean to tell me that Mike and Susan and Kathy, they aren't popular?
Well, we're popular with each other, but we don't exactly run the high school.
I always thought you guys were popular.
Hey, maybe I'm not head cheerleader or class president or a big jock, but I've got a lot of good friends and I'm happy. Maybe happy's more important than popular. Did you ever think of that?
Well, I wasn't trying to cut you down.
Okay. You just remember, your ideas are going to change when you get to high school. It's so much bigger than junior high that there's room for a lot of cliques. The marching band hangs around together. Kids on the newspaper and the yearbook hang around together. Debate team hangs around together.
You mean to tell me that there's not one special group that runs the whole school?
Sure there is. There's a group of, I guess you'd call them beautiful people. They're the homecoming queens and the star jocks, the kids with the flashy clothes and the cool cars. They sort of run around together. But just because you don't fit in that group doesn't mean you have to be left out in the cold. But you do have to make an effort to make friends.
But it's so different in junior high. I don't have all those choices.
You know what your problem is? You're letting Ellen and Stacy decide who's worthy of being your friend and who's not.
Oh, I don't buy that.
Why not? It's not so weird. You figure just because somebody hasn't been accepted into the popular clique, there's something wrong with them. So you ignore them too. Well, don't you?
Well, maybe.
So Stacy and Ellen are keeping you from making friends with 90% of the kids in your class. I gotta get on my homework.
Hey, wait a second. I'm not sure what you're telling me to do. Am I supposed to go crawl into a cave and forget about the next couple of years and start over fresh in high school?
Hey, I'm not telling you have to do anything.
All right. Don't bite my head off. Just tell me what you think I ought to do.
Look, if I were you, I'd take a fresh look at the kids in my classes right now. Forget about whether Ellen and Stacy would make fun of them or not. Make up your own mind about them.
But if I start making friends with kids that Ellen and Stacy don't like, then I'll never have a chance to be in their group.
So what? Come on, be realistic. They're never going to let you or anybody else into that clique.
Why not?
Well, if they open up that clique and let everybody join in, then it wouldn't be such a high and mighty exclusive group anymore. I mean, if everybody's in that group, who'd be left to admire them? No, they've got a special interest in keeping that clique as small and as exclusive as possible.
You really don't like popular kids, do you?
Some of them I do. You know, there's some kids up at the high school who get to be super popular just because they're really nice. I mean, they're friendly to everybody. They've got a good sense of humor, and they'll help you out if you need it. And that's all they've really got going for them, is they're nice.
Well,